The album is called To Whom It May Concern. And in the interview that Jill Scott did with Angie Martinez, she said that she's talking to who she's talking to. And she was like, if I'm not talking to you, I'm not talking to you. But who I'm talking to, that's who I'm talking to. And I said all that to say that is how I feel, that this space and the people that are connected to this movement over here that we have going on, I want the people that I'm talking to who I'm talking to, that we're talking to who we're talking to. So if you don't want to be here, child, God bless you. I thank you for hanging out for a little while. Appreciate, the watch hours and such and whatever you did. And also, I believe in a good unsubscribe if it's not aligning with your spirit. So amen and such and so. So anyway, some people have gotten off of they took their exit ramp. Amen. God bless them. All right. Okay.
Hey y'all, I'm Kimberlyn, and this is the Frolicking Truth, a soft space for Black women who are tired, brilliant, and ready to heal. Here, joy meets justice. We calm our Black ass nervous systems, we unmask, and we leave behind whatever that is trying to kill us. You're seen here, you're safe here, and you don't have to do this alone.
Yo, it legit feels like it has been an entire, I don't even know. What is time? What is time? The last time that we did a live situation with the inner circle and like the whole production and such, I feel like was in December, which was only last month, but gee willikers, it feels like forever and ever has gone by. And that is wild. So happy New Year, y'all. Happy 2026. Yay. Listen, I'm gonna keep it very much real. I was not all like Happy New Year and things. New year, new me. Yay. I was very much because remember in 2025, I entered that new year with my chin bust wide open, right? So I was committed to saying, I am going to have a calm new year. I'm going to be home. I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to have the food that I want to eat, the movies that I'm going to watch. I'm just going to be sitting still. And I did go up to the roof to watch the fireworks. In Medellin, they love them a good fireworks show, baby. So I did go and watch the fireworks and everything for like, I don't know, maybe 12 minutes or something. And you know what I did? I played Phil Collins in the air tonight. I saw something probably on TikTok or maybe on Instagram, and they was like, if you start this at this particular moment in the countdown, by the time New Year hits, it'll be at the drum solo. Boo-doo, doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. That's what I did because I'm corny. And that's how I brought in the New Year. I am so corny like that. And that's how I brought in the new year. And then I think I stayed out there for probably about 10 more minutes because it was quite a production. And then I came back into my apartment. And yeah, it actually did work. I messed it up though, because I was also trying to record. So then it was like, because you got to record, but then you got to go back and press the music so the music could play in your own ear while you record. But it was close enough. It was close enough. And it brought me joy in my spirit. So then I came back into my apartment and then I closed the blinds and everything because they was out there popping like not good fireworks, just loud. They was just loud. I was like, okay, enough of that. So I closed that. I put on my brown noise, and I don't even remember what I watched, but that is how I brought in the new year. It was very uneventful. And also, the night of New Year's, I broke out into this rash with some allergic reaction about something. You know what I realized? I never even introduced the show. Wait a minute, guys. Wait a minute. We got to go backwards. We're going to pause right here and I'm going to get right back to that. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Welcome on in here, huh? We just been chatting it up. Yeah. Well, this is the Frolicking Truth. My name is Kimberland. Um, and I want you to find a comfortable spot, take a seat, honey, sit down and crisscross applesauce or not. You know, it's really up to you. But this is a place for Black women who are tired, brilliant, and ready to heal, where joy meets justice and our nervous systems get free. And it's all right. Even if you don't identify with any of those descriptors, you're always welcome here as long as you are coming ready to listen, ready to learn, and ready to support. And so the first thing that we usually do here is get into the auntie check-in, and that's what I was doing, and that's what I'm finna get right back into because this is the segment where I talk about what's happening in my own personal life. And honestly, today is really gonna be a big old long auntie check-in with a whole lot of other stuff weaved in because we haven't been here in forever. So like my people are here, the inner circle is here with me. And they are a branch of the Patreon, which is called the Archive. Over in the Patreon is where we are able to be in deep community, have deep conversations about all the things that are happening right now, whether that be with me or the other people that are here in this universe with us. The Archive is the Patreon, and it is the place where we are keeping all of the recipes and keeping our culture and our music and really making sure that we are developing an archive that honors our blackness and our brilliance. Okay. So if you want the golden ticket, you want to be in here for the things, come on over and hang out. It's only $5 a month. And that $5 will get you entry into all of the different collections that we have. The inner circle is my collection. So that's where my people at. That's where we be hanging out. But we also have spaces like the change corridor where, honey, you can get activated and understand what's happening. Okay. And then we also have places like the sunflower path where you can get information about healing and plant-based medicine and gardening. And y'all, we got some cooking classes coming up. I don't want to call them classes, some cooking experiences that are coming up. Ooh, baby, 2026 is gonna be lit. So anyway, you want to be in that number. Go over to patreon.com/minding my black ass business. That is how you are going to be able to join the archive. Every person that comes into the archive is a keeper, and you decide what you're gonna be responsible for keeping. Okay. All right. So yeah, welcome. Come on in and things and such and so. All right. So, having said that, getting right back to what I was talking about. So, the comment says, last year your chin, this year your skin. Bars. Listen. I had an allergic reaction, so it was all over my chest, like just all over my chest, right? So that's freaking me out. So now I'm trying to figure out, is it the laundry detergent? Because like my skin was irritated. So I was like, it must be the laundry detergent. So then I freaked out even more so because I had just washed every single piece of clothing that I own, which is not a lot, but it's every single piece of clothing that I own. So then I was like, if it's the laundry detergent, how am I going to decontaminate all of my clothes that I have now contaminated that I'm now allergic to? So that was like going on, and that was like wild and crazy, right? So then probably about, and there were actually signs of whatever that was like right after Christmas. So I feel like the last time that I recorded was somewhere around Christmas Eve or something, where I had put out the last episode of the year. And soon after that, that's when I started like feeling like the itching and stuff. So, but I wasn't like really paying attention to it. I was like, this is odd, this is weird, but also I don't know. And I had done, like, I had for Christmas, I had made a special meal. So shout out to Chef Ratatouille, who gave me a recipe for passion fruit salmon. Y'all, when I tell you I wanted to lick the plate, it was so good. And I know that it was good, like my so good, because also I don't really be listening. Like I be listening, but I don't. I really don't. Especially when it comes to like garlic, because I love garlic. And so we always have to go back and forth about that. But anyway, I had listened as best as I could, but also like he's an actual chef, so I know that it would taste leaps and bounds better, I'm sure. But anyway, for me, it was so good. And it was the first time I had ever even like worked with passion fruit for real at all, outside of like an exotic fruit tasting. And I was just trusting that it was gonna be good. It was so good. It was passion fruit salmon with a baked sweet potato and but not sweet, a savory baked sweet potato. So there was like this onion sauce that I had mixed into it, and then I believe I had broccoli, and I'm talking bussin'. You understand me? But also, I don't usually eat that. So then I was like, am I allergic to passion fruit? Like, was it the passion fruit? But I drink jugo de maracuja all the time, which is passion fruit juice. So I'm like, no, it can't be that. Anyway, as you can imagine, I'm in here like really trying to figure out what the hell I'm allergic to. I still don't know. I still don't know. So that was going on. Then I started feeling like I was getting sick. But I'm the type of person that I can be dramatic sometimes, admittedly. So, okay, I'm an actress. All right. So sometimes I can be a little dramatic. And so I felt like I was getting sick, but I kept saying to myself, I'm not sick. This is just whatever. I was saying to myself at the, oh, it's just early in the morning. It's just late at night. It's just, I don't know, whatever I was saying in my brain to rationalize why I wasn't sick until I got to the point where I was like, I'm sick for real. So then, um, that kind of took a couple days to escalate. Then now I have a fever. Now I and my nose is just running uncontrollably. I'm sneezing uncontrollably. Just I'm sick for real. So that was like all last week. So like I feel like what is today? Today is the 14th. So I feel like a couple Sundays ago, I had met with my intern and I was like saying, yeah, I'm kind of feeling, like I'm getting a little sick. I'm not sure. And then Monday was like, and you're sick, girl. Yes, you are. You have won the prize. Okay. You are going to also win that your nose is going to break out. And I know you can't see it because this has little filters and things on it. But what happens is when I get sick and when I get a fever, my nose will break out. And so this morning when I was in the shower, I had like this connection that at least I can say since I moved to Colombia, I remember specifically. So that was uh December of 2022. Yeah, December of 2022. I have been sick over the Christmas, New Year holiday every year since. And it'll either happen just before the holiday or to happen just after the holiday. And my nose breaks out every time. So let's talk about my nose for a second and what happens. And so I did not get teased about a lot of things in school, but there are some things that I definitely got teased about. One of the things was having chapped lips because I live with OCD. I didn't like going to the bathroom. I didn't know at the time what was happening, but I would not be hydrated, so my lips were always dry, and so I always had chapped lips. So I got teased about that. I got teased about having four eyes because I wear glasses. And I got teased about my nose breaking out. So the first time that this happened, I was in like fifth grade. What would happen is I would get like I'm gonna call it this, and this is where my issue is with, oh my God, I have so many convergent thoughts right now. I was watching this YouTube video last night called Dr. Daff Show, and it's called The Bridge. And so on this show, they'll have like two opposing sides of something or two perceived opposing sides of things, and then have them say whether they disagree with these statements and then discuss. In this particular episode that I was watching, it was talking about holistic practices versus Western medicine. And 90% of the panel were Black women. And then there was one lady, she didn't look white, but I don't know what type of white. She might have been of color, but she wasn't Black. So anyway, the conversations that they were having was about holistic practices versus medicinal practices and Western medicine. And one of the things that they brought up often is that medicine is designed to treat something quickly, or you have allowed yourself to get to a place of crisis, and now there needs to be immediate intervention. So now you need prescriptions, you need these things to get your body together quickly. Whereas in holistic medicine, it takes time. So like one lady was a dermatologist and she was like, I try to present my patients with all of their options. And she said, but sometimes they're like, I get married next month. My face cannot look like this. I don't have time for a 6 month drink tea 6 times a day type. I'm not doing that. I need this fixed now. And so that's where medicine comes, like Western medicine comes in, and prescription medication. And so they were talking about how holistic medicine is very much preventative, and it takes consistency and intentionality when you are choosing to utilize holistic medicine. I said all that to say my understanding of what happens when I say my nose breaks out is that it's a fever blister. And that understanding has evolved over time. I remember when I first went to the doctor. Okay, so I'm from New Orleans, right? And New Orleans is a majority Black city in the middle of a very white, racist, red, if you go in Democrat, Republican state. Okay. And so just outside of New Orleans, there is an area called Chalmette. And Chalmette is where a lot of actually poor white people live. But poor white people be some of the worst ones because they are so blinded by their white superiority that they can't even see that you just as worse off as me. And you actually worse off because I'm brilliant and you not. So anyway, the way that I grew up was very much that proximity to whiteness is something that's what's most important. Those are the best. They're the most educated. They're the best. So we need to go to the white people. And so my doctor was this white man in Chalmette, Dr. Johnson was his name. Not Johnson, Johnson. I don't remember how you spell it, but I remember that's how it was said. So anyway, my mama take me to the doctor to go and see what's going on with my nose because if you can imagine, I don't know because I'm saying fever blister, but I don't really know what your understanding of what that might look like. This is what my nose would look like when I was in elementary school. So if you can see like how it's like pussy and all of that, so my nose would look like that when after I had gotten sick. And so as you can imagine, that looks quite alarming. And it would happen, like I said, when I got sick, I don't remember what time of year or what might be happening, but I would have those sores. So the first time that my mom took me to the doctor and they were trying to figure out what it was called, this man said it looked like an Indian rash. Now, my understanding of what Indian rash meant at the time is when somebody would take your arm and they would like twist it like this, and then it would cause some kind of burn or something. But also, whatever the hell this Indian rash was, he like now in hindsight, like, what are you talking? I don't even know what that means. But I know that it was something that was very much some type of stereotypical stupid ass that you got like pre-existing biases and like don't know what the hell you talking about type situation, right? So I said all that to say there really wasn't any like type of treatment or like I would just have to, but you can't imagine the number of things that I had tried to do over the years to try to clear this up. I'm talking from alcohol to earwax to vinegar to essential oils to like so many things, right? And I like to call this, side note, I like to call this my I believe that God gives us all things to keep us humble and to keep us grounded. And because, you can only be but so perfect, you know. And this is one of those things. And also, God didn't give me a flat stomach like that because, baby. When I tell you, you wouldn't be able to say nothing to me, and I would not have on any clothes ever. Okay. Um, but yeah, so that's one of the things that God gave me to be like, girl, you are very, very attractive and smart and also sometimes you gonna have this limp that you deal with. So as a child, the comment here says it must have been traumatic when you were younger. It was very traumatic because now also everybody is pointing and laughing at me like, what's wrong with your gut? Then when you get to the understanding of, okay, it's a fever blister, which also means a fever blister, and now I'm about to go into my scientist bag, is herpes simplex virus 1, right? And so then it's like you have herpes. So then it's like, oh my God, nobody's ever gonna love me, right? Like it was a lot. And keep in mind, you're talking to a now I know, autistic child who is very literal about things. Like, what the hell? So then, of course, this might be my origin story for why I even started really going down the path of science because then I had to understand the difference between herpes simplex virus 1, which is fever blisters, which is very common, and herpes simplex virus 2, which is genital herpes, which is also very common, by the way, but it's not the same. This was also during the AIDS epidemic and people like Magic Johnson, like having AIDS. And then there was this little girl, her name was Hylia, and she had contracted AIDS through birth. So she grew up with HIV. And it was like there was a lot of conversation around that. And one of the things that I used to want to do when I was younger was to have a clinic. I wanted to have a bunch of free like public health clinics because I recognized that healthcare was lacking. I didn't have any idea like to how much of an extent it was lacking. I wanted to do advocacy work in the area of HIV and AIDS and sexually transmitted infections. And so I became like really like intentional about that because there's so much stigma and like all of that and it's like this whole origin story. Anyway, I said all that to say over time the severe breakout has morphed in different ways because now I can tell when it's about to happen, so I'm better able to be more preventative and to set myself up for success, if you will, as opposed to being in denial and now all of a sudden it's broken out so bad and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so I was dealing with all of that. Okay. And then my cycle came down. But because perimenopause, before my cycle started, the week before, I'm already having cramps and nausea and all of these new symptoms that I've never experienced in my life, ever, ever before. So all of that is also going on while I'm sick, sneezing, came nose breaking out. Like it was a lot, y'all, and I'm just starting to feel like a person again. Okay, I just said all that. I'm starting to feel like a person again. And I am very grateful that I feel like a person again. Okay. Now, before we continue, I just want to pause here to give a trigger warning and a content note. I am not a medical professional. In this episode, I'm sharing my personal experiences exploring plant based medicine as part of how I manage my neurodivergence and mental health, including anxiety, depression, ADHD, OCD, and autism. This is not medical advice. I am not advocating for or against prescription medication or any specific treatment. I believe there is a time and place for prescription medication, and those choices are deeply personal. My goal is simply to share my lived experiences, not to tell anyone else what they should do. Please consult qualified healthcare professionals, whether they be in Western medicine or holistic, when making decisions about your mental health, and do what is best for you on your own journey. While I was sick, I was watching TV. And one of the things that I had watched is Severance. Now, I'm curious of whether you all have seen Severance or not. So, editing me jumping in to give context. Severance is about a group of people who have decided to undergo a surgery that will separate their work life from their personal life. So, when they are at work, they have absolutely no memories or understanding of their personal life. And when they are living in their personal life, they have absolutely no understanding or memories of their work life. I feel like I'm living a real life severance. And it is like really blowing my mind how interesting it is. The comment says crazy. It looks like a good show. You mentioned the show before. Yeah, Severance is one of the shows that is on the list of things like if you want to understand me better or understand like how I look at the world or understand things like Severance is one that is worth a trip. Y'all know I have been like super transparent about my mental health conditions, diagnoses, like all the things, whatever, right? And depression, anxiety is definitely something that I live with and that I am often trying to process. And so living with depression, anxiety, and along with complex post-traumatic stress disorder, as well as autism and ADHD and just neurodivergence as a whole, and just all of those differences in the way that my brain operates, I have gotten put on medication right back when I was in the US. And so Lexapro is what I was prescribed. I have talked about here before, like there was a time, the first time I was on Lexapro, I was still in Pennsylvania and I needed to not feel. And then when I got put back on Lexapro, it was weird because I had learned how to feel, but then I couldn't feel and I don't like that feeling. So ultimately, what wound up happening is I decided that I am going to look into plant-based medicine because I feel better about plant-based medicine and the effects of plant-based medicine and the ways that I am able to consume that and the benefits that it has for my body in comparison to Lexapro making me a shell of a person, because I do not want to exist in the world as someone who cannot feel. That is the absolute antithesis of what I want my existence to be. So I have been off of Lexapro since October of 2024. And I have been utilizing plant-based medicine and holistic approaches to stabilize and ground myself. I had to like give myself an acknowledgement the other day because I have successfully managed a lot through plant-based medicine over the past 15 months. Through everything that happened in Panama, through everything that happened last year, through moving out to the mountains, to now coming back to the city, like all of that, I have been utilizing plant-based medicine to support myself. But even saying that, sometimes I'm still like, oh, are you dependent, or are you like, you got to do this every day, like that type of thing. And what I am learning to do is to recondition my brain, because if I was taking Lexapro, I would have to take it every day. So why would I not take plant-based medicine every day? Right? Like it doesn't even make any sense. But because of the way that we have been conditioned to think about cultural practices and plant-based medicine and herbalism and things of that nature, we are conditioned to think about it like it's not medicine, but it is. So I've been doing a lot of active work in my mind to recondition that. And anybody who knew me in my former life, they're like, now this is wild as shit. Because when I tell you I was say no to drugs, don't you do it. Like so down. To the point that it was really obnoxious and really offensive. And now my views have changed so drastically because my understanding of the medicine has changed so drastically. But anyway, the reason I said I feel like severance is because it is the most difficult thing to get my days started. Like, I really have to figure out how to get the sleeping me to feel there's going to be enough of a payoff to actually take my medicine so the awake me can go off with the day. Because if I don't take my medicine, I'm really not able to do much. Like it's really interesting. It's a very, very stark difference. And then I take my medicine, and then it's like, okay, there is hope, and there is um I can see a way out. Like I want to open the blinds. Like I want to like see what the day holds, as opposed to the other me is like, I really don't care. I really don't care. I don't care. I could sit here, it doesn't matter, because this is the thing. And so I go back and forth with this because I'm like, am I tricking my brain? Am I like, what is really happening? Because this is the other thing, y'all. I don't know if y'all knew this. The world is falling apart. Huh? Did y'all know? Huh? The world is literally falling apart, yo. And I haven't even been online. I left Facebook. Okay. And so and when I say I left, I'm leaving in stages. I took the app off of my phone because I just was like, I don't need to go over there no more. Okay. But my Instagram posts to my Facebook. So people are still commenting, and now Instagram will be like, you got messages over on Facebook. So sometimes I go over there to see who says something. Do I need to say something back? All of this, because that's where people I actually know are at, right? But um it's so much disinformation and misinformation over there. It's hard for me over there. Like it's a lot that happens over there. So I kind of just left from over there. Then Instagram, I am actively working to change my algorithm, but I there's like this thing where you're going back and forth between I need to know what the hell is going on and also I don't want to know what the hell is going on. So I feel like the back and forth that I be having is like, am I tricking my brain into this space of being like, everything's fine, everything is gonna be fine, like it's okay, like you're gonna be okay, everything is fine. But then when I off of that and now I'm in reality, it's like the fucking world is crashing. Like what the fuck is going on? So it feels like a real life severance, like a real life flipping of switches, a flipping of consciousness. And it's so frustrating. I don't remember who I was talking to the other day. Oh, we were talking in the new podcast that's coming up from Auntie with Love.
I don't know if y'all can tell it now, but we're excited.
Hey, y'all, welcome to From Auntie with Love, a sister verse of Black women reimagining life together.
They told me to put a pinch of brown sugar.
Who is they?
Who is
they?
She's like a cookout.
I'm trying to think back.
Right?
You don't want to like go to a lounge? Four aunties in different seasons of life with stories to tell, thoughts to spill, wisdom to drop, and side eyes to give.
That's how we'll have a mindful moment, a mindful booty moment.
Okay.
I'll lead us through a mindful booty moment.
One of my newfound commandments is that I will hold space for change and forgiveness.
Do not show up to anywhere that I do not know that you are coming, especially my house.
You're going to find me with a drink high in the air in one hand and my body low.
Yeah. Let's get into the conversations that don't usually make it to the table, but they should. With love. Always. And we were talking about content creation, and I was saying it's so difficult for me to be in these spaces because I know so much. And because I know so much, I can't unknow what I know and I can't unsee what I've seen. So I don't have that ignorance is bliss like type of approach. I am very well aware of what is happening. So it makes it really tough sometimes to be in these different spaces. And so it's been a lot to manage, and I can't imagine what those who are actually like inside of situations, how they are feeling, right? If we think about, I wanted to just list out because I said, let me write down the things that are happening because this is crazy as hell. So in the US, the ICE raids have amped up. People in Minneapolis are being terrorized every single day. And that is in addition to whatever was happening in Chicago. And it seems like Minneapolis is the hub right now. That's the loudest noise, if you will, that has been rising to the top. But also, I kind of been out of the loop. So I really don't know, right? So ICE agents, ICE stands for Immigration and Customs Enforcement. They have now said that they're going to go door to door to determine whether people are U.S. citizens. They just murdered this white lady the other day, shot her in the face 3 times. Then there was a tweet that just came out that gave ICE, complete and total immunity. And hold on, I want to read it to you. I just have a running list on Instagram where I just post things. It's called This is America. And I just post every time I see something, I save it to that collection because this shit is wild. Like this is wild as hell. So this is a statement that came out from Homeland Security today. It says, reminder to all ICE officers, you have federal immunity in the conduct of your duties. Anybody who lays a hand on you or tries to stop you or tries to obstruct you is committing a felony. You have immunity to perform your duties, and no one, no city official, no state official, no illegal alien, no leftist agitator, or domestic insurrectionist can prevent you from fulfilling your legal obligations and duties. The Department of Justice has made clear that if officials cross that line into obstruction, into criminal conspiracy against the United States or against ICE officers, then they will face justice. And this is coming from Stephen M, the leader of the Department of War, whatever custom. I don't know what the fuck these. Listen, listen. That's happening. Okay, that's happening. In addition to copious other amounts of things in the U.S., um, they done kidnapped the Venezuelan president, President Maduro, talking about they bringing him up on drug charges. Meanwhile, pardoned a former Honduran president who was convicted of bringing copious amounts of drugs into the country, and but also neglecting the fact that the US government is complicit in all of the drugs being in the United States in the first fucking place. Okay, so that also happened. Israel is bombing Lebanon. The US is bombing Iran. Iran has promised to meet that with extreme force. Greenland, they finna take over Greenland, and now that's about to be US. And then China is invading Taiwan. Listen, it's a lot that's going on. So I feel like I'm like battling all of that at the same time. And that's in addition to the life of life, because of all of this that is happening in the administration, there are impacts that are happening that are affecting the way that I'm receiving payment for the services that I have provided. And so it's just been a lot. And I really had to give myself credit the other day because I am still here and we are still here because this is a lot. And we have never in our lifetimes experienced this level of terror and consistent bombardment of things, and not just things, but like high stakes events and high stakes catastrophic, life altering, paralyzing, terroristic act. We have never, ever in our lives experienced this. And one, I was like, girl, and so you still here, sis. Like you, baby, you still here. The other part is like, what do I need to do to be able to support myself and still wanting to be here? And still like not losing hope in the midst of all of this. And again, back to the severance moment of that the me that has not had my medication is very much like, child, y'all got it. Like I'm good, but I done, hey, now I done made an imprint. I done changed lives. I done, honey, listen now. They gonna write books about me, okay? It's cool. Like we good. We don't need to do that because I am not like a zombie apocalypse, end of days, I'm a fight to the death type of chick. Like my zombie apocalypse plan, take me out of here. Take me out of here. I live with OCD. I'm not trying to, I don't hate. Take me out of here when the zombie apocalypse comes, when the end of days comes, when the Doom, the Mad Max, whatever it is. I don't even watch those types of movies, honey. I'm not prepared. Take me out. Okay. So there's that side. And then the other side is like, but there is the ability to be able to reach into the depths of community and support ourselves outside of these systems. And I know that it's possible because we are doing it on small scales now. So it makes me want to, okay, I just need to tell people. I just need to let them know. I just need to let them know that we're here. I need to get them connected to the archive. I need to get them connected to each other. I need to get them connected to the healing circles. I need to get them connected to the things, and then we'll be able to support each other, right? So it's like I'm battling those two sides of things, and it has been a lot. It has been a lot. And I asked myself the other day, I was like, what do we need to do to be able to sustain and maintain, and in some cases get in touch with the calm nervous system that will allow us to be able to access the part of our brain that allows us to connect to others and to plan and strategize, right? And I talk about that, all the time. And I really think the first step in that is radical acceptance and accepting what is actually happening, and then intentionally making plans because we understand what is actually happening. I am quite baffled at um politicians and people who are denying what is happening, like the perception specifically in the United States but also globally. Like the plan right now is world domination, and that is being led by Israel, and the United States is in partnership with that and also a pawn in that. Israel and the United States are both powered by white supremacy culture, white supremacist thoughts, billionaires, and Zionists. Okay. And that is a really, really lethal cocktail. We are literally in the space right now of the world where we are watching Nazi Germany happening right now. It's happening right now, today, actively. This is what's going on. And it is not beneficial for us to pretend like that is not happening. Because what happens then is that we are not positioned to be able to support ourselves, to defend ourselves, to be able to make sure that we are eating and have health care and like all of these things. We're not able to activate that if we sit in a space of trying to deny what we actively see in front of our faces. So the first step in making sure that we are going to be okay and continuing to still be here is that we have to accept what is happening. And I know that's a lot, and that's the biggest hurdle to jump over. And it's why I try to ease us on in there. But honestly, we don't have a lot of time to be sitting up here playing around with not accepting what is actively happening. The concept of laws and justice and like that is not a thing. Let it go. Let it go. It's not a thing. It's not real. There's not accountability. You ain't finna sue nobody and get justice. You're not about to report nobody to HR and get justice. Like that's not what's happening. Knowing that, then, how can I walk into this war zone and make sure that I am prepared and understanding that I'm walking into this war zone? We have to put ourselves in the best position to be able to ensure that we have each other and that we are holding each other and supporting each other. That is why I have been curating the archive. That is why I have been thinking about what all of these spaces look like, because people are becoming more and more aware, and then they are going to need to know where to go and how to connect. And we the black people, the descendants from Africa, like, we are the genius, the global majority of us that understand our heritage and our roots. We are the ones that have the genius. Us. We are the ones that built these countries. We, off of our labor and off of our brains. So if we would take that and then put that into our own spaces, we are able to make sure that we can protect each other, that we can support each other, right? So I want to give a few ways over here that we are doing that. All right. And that is here in the Mind of My Black Ass Business universe. That is in the Kimberlyn Jackson universe. That is in the universes that run parallel to mine. This is the way that we operate over here. Okay. So the first thing, I've talked with you all about the Healing Circle before. The Healing Circle is a space that is exclusively for Black women, not necessarily Black women from the US, just Black women. And it's a space for us to reconnect to our bodies and reconnect to our breath. We just had our January Healing Circle this past Saturday, and it was so brave and encouraging. We had several women to return to the Healing Circle, and so, which means that they're finding value in this space. And we have people who are healing all sorts of things, from thinking about past relationships to relationships with their mother, to relationships with their own bodies, to how they're showing up at work, to preparing to bring life into the world. Like, there are so many different things that women are coming with and choosing to show up in this space. So I want to invite you, if you are listening to this and you're thinking to yourself, I really do need to get into community and get into connection with other Black women, this would be an amazing place for you to show up to. We have it every second Saturday of the month. Now, next month, February, it is going to take place on February 14th, which is Valentine's Day, which is also my birthday. Go shorty. It's your birthday. We gonna party like it's your birthday. We gonna sip a party like it's your birthday. And you know, we don't give a about your birthday. That song came out when I was 21. It was at the top of the charts in January 2023. Or I guess maybe I was turning 22 then. But yeah, I remember being in Nashville down there with the white people dancing on top of the bar and talking about go shorty, it's your birthday. My friends put me in the back of a truck. It was like a Blazer truck, and they put me in the back of the truck. They were like, go sit back there. Man, that was a night. Woo! Good times, huh? Huh? Anyway. Saturday, February 14th is our next healing circle, and that is Valentine's Day. That is also my birthday. So the theme for the month of February is going to be about self-love and really thinking about what we are doing for ourselves and how we are supporting ourselves. This month, we talked about morning routines, and y'all know that's something that I've been working on and we just finished talking about, right? So we had a conversation about morning routines and what that looks like and what we want to include in our morning routine to help us to have a more grounded day. What I said I want to include in my morning routine is I have to take my medicine. I have to take my medicine and I have to do the mental work that I need to do to help myself to be successful. Like I have to take my medicine. I just, I have to open my eyes and I have to take my medicine. That's it. So, anyway, it's a space where we're able to be really candid and just hold space, like I said, for each other and get other ideas and leave with the action steps and action plans for what that might look like. One of the themes that has been coming up is that several of the women are like, my friendships are changing, and there's a lot that's going on right now, and I'm seeing I'm aligned with some people, and not aligned with others, and I'm just really navigating what that looks like and sounds like. And I was sharing with them like I'm in that same space. One of the other things that Jill Scott said on that In Real Life interview with Angie Martinez, she was like, I'm a ninja. She said, I have my knife is hot and quick. She said, when I see certain things out of there, I'm slicing you off. No, I'm not doing that anymore. And I very much was like, absolutely, Jill. Absolutely. Because we spend so much of our life making concessions and excuses for how people are showing up and why people are showing up, as opposed to just honoring that this is not somebody that's aligned with my life anymore. And so we hold on to relationships longer than we should. We make excuses and we often sacrifice our own well being, our own mental health, right? So being almost 45 and recognizing that there are circles that I've been in, like these people do not like me. They don't like me. They don't care about me. They never liked me. We were literally together because of proximity, but they don't care about me as a person. It is okay to admit that and cut those people off, right? So we were having that conversation the other day, and then I was also sharing with them the idea, specifically as Black women, that the ways that sisterhood has been shaped for us have been very toxic. And it's been very toxic also without context of how those thoughts even came into being. So we have a lot of reparations and repairing that we need to do in how we view sisterhood and how we think about each other. So, having said that, I'm re uplifting the Sisterhood Heals book study because the healing circle is one of the places that is going to go through. And I think it's really going to give us an opportunity to think about how we show up for others and with others. Also, I would love for you, again, if you're a Black woman, to come because that's my birthday. And that's what I want for my birthday is for y'all to come to the Healing Circle and get some of this good conversation, good community connection, and all of that. Okay. So if you listening to this, please go ahead and mark your calendars now. So it's going to be on Saturday, February 14th at 9:30 a.m. Central, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. So we moved the time up. Usually it is after the Frolicking Truth. So what will happen that Saturday is we'll have the Healing Circle and then the Frolicking Truth will premiere after that. So the Frolicking Truth will premiere at 12 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, February 14th, as opposed to 11. And that way we can make space to have the healing circle and to also do the frolicking truth for my birthday episode. So again, it's almost my birthday, y'all. Today is January 14th. It is 30 days until my 45th birthday. And I'm kind of excited, at least right now in this moment. I really do enjoy birthdays. I'm not somebody who does like a whole bunch of like, um, what do you call it? Like a whole bunch of parties and all that kind of stuff. I've definitely had times throughout my life where there have been like party type environments when I lived in Tampa, but I don't really necessarily be doing that for real, for real. But anyway, I just get personally excited about my birthday, and I really like to just honor that it is another day, another year of my life that I am here in existence. I feel like 45 is a big deal. I can't believe that I've I've been here for almost 45 years, and I don't really know what 45 is supposed to look like and sound like, but honey, I think it looks great. Okay. I have always been the type where I don't mind getting older. I'm excited to get older. I was talking about Raina earlier, and y'all could see, honey, the wisdom streaks are there. So, yeah, I'm just wondering what this next year will hold for me and what new things will happen. February historically is a time where amazing things happen in my life. February, usually there is some type of like big surprise or like some type of big blessing or like some type of huge encouragement that happens. So I am looking forward to whatever God is going to do for this 45th year of entry into the world. So I'm trying to think about it in advance and like be intentional about it. One of the things I did do the other day is I got an Amazon list together for different things that I do want for my birthday or things that I would like to have. Honestly, it's stuff on there like incense and essential oils and well, socks and maybe there's like a pair of earrings and like a purse. Like it is literally like just I would like to have these things or I need these things and I haven't had a chance to get them yet. But I did create a Amazon list, so I'll put that link into the chat. I also will say I am very much like anti-Amazon, but the reason I did it that way is because shipping is wild. So somebody sent me a package and it's been saying that it's gonna get delivered, that it's here in the country. And then they say that it was coming December 20th. It's January 14th. Ain't been no update. So I don't really know what's happening with that. And I have not really received like packages. So the most consistent way it seems is to be able to get things is through Amazon. So that is why I did the list. And yeah, so I'll share that. And if you are saying to yourself, oh my God, I would love to bless you, then I appreciate the blessings. I'll also share that my Cash App is $ Kimberland Jackson, and my Venmo is at Kimberland Jackson. I also appreciate any and all and every donation and all of that. Oh my God. The comment, Erica, she said, girl, why do I have a box of grits still sitting here from when you asked me to bring it on my visit? You know, it's funny. I actually have grits. There was a sorority sister of mine that came into Medellin and she brought me some grits and she also bought me barbecue shrimp seasoning from New Orleans because spices is not something that you're able to ship easily. It has to like come with the person. And she had reached out and she was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be there. What do you need?" And that is always like the largest gift. If you ever find yourself going somewhere and out of the country and you connect with people who are from the US, ask them if you can bring them something because it's like it's just like a kind of like pick me up, that you have your imported things. And yeah, so anyway, um grits is not on the list because you can't ship it. But I do have a big old like 5 pound bag of grits. So I have grits for a while. So I'm excited about that. Matter of fact, I might eat some grits today. So that'll be cool. So yeah, so I am preparing for this 45th year of life and I'll keep y'all posted. I want to do something special like I don't know, like do a 30-day vlog or something every day leading up to my birthday or something like that. Like I said, I'm really trying to find things in this level of consciousness that will make me excited to continue on another day. So I'm really trying to be intentional about that. for real, because it is necessary for my well-being. I had a friend from college, or I have a friend from college who ran a marathon, y'all. Shout out to Tanya. 26.2 miles she ran. And I know that there are people that do this, and also I am not one of them. Amen. Running is definitely not something that I have found peace in, but a lot of people do. And I remember some years ago, she had like mentioned, oh, I'm getting into running and, all of that. And now this girl done ran a whole freaking marathon, a whole ass marathon. Okay. And so she had reached out in the group chat and set up like this website thing where people could call or leave a voice note and leave encouraging messages. And I was like, oh my God, this is the cutest idea. And I haven't had a chance to talk to her about like how those messages landed as she was, coming along. Um, but it was such a good idea to have that opportunity to lead support. And it made me ask myself, am I giving people the opportunity to support me? Because I know sometimes I don't. And sometimes, like, my coping mechanism, a lot of times, is just to like go inward. And I just be like I said earlier, oh, y'all don't like, y'all actually don't like me? No problem. Let me go. Oh, it's toxic over there? No problem, honey. Let me go over here. Like, I very much am a remove myself type of energy. And sometimes that also causes me to cut everybody off for a moment because I don't it's a lot that be happening, especially if there are relationships that you are like having a new awakening about where you really stand in that relationship. It kind of starts to shift. I'll use I statements. It kind of starts to shift my trust in some other relationships. So one of the things I had did recently is I went and I was looking back in text messages. And there are certain people like that I have tried to make myself very available to. But their narrative is like, I'm not available, even though I've tried like very intentionally. Here's my calendar link. Here's my phone number. Here's my this. Here's my that. But the word on the street is, oh, I can't never get in touch with her because you got to do this, and this, which I know is a lie because I talk to people often from the US. I talk to somebody from the US every single day. But I literally be on Zoom or like in text or on WhatsApp, like talking to people often. So I'm not hard to get in touch with. Like that's not difficult. So anyway, they really just don't for some reason feel like I don't know. I don't want to speculate. So anyway, Um, I was going back through text messages to see how many times I had asked to connect with certain people. And it was literally like, I was pissing myself off because I was literally like, hey, I value this relationship and like, I want us to connect and I hope to be able to speak with you soon. And this is when I'm available. And here's my calendar link. And I hope to be able to connect. And I hope you're all right and sending you good energy. And I hope everything is fine. And I hope you're okay. And I'm just trying to connect. And then I was just like, girl, they don't want to fucking connect with you, bitch. Clearly, they do not actually want to connect with you. Because if they did, girl, it would have happened by now. Because look at how many people you connect with consistently because they actually value your connection. They don't want to connect with you. So when that happens for me, it often makes me like kind of just shut everything down because now I'm like, how did I misread this? Or like, are there other relationships that I'm misreading? Again, remember, I'm autistic as fuck. So it's like, maybe I am making this more than it is, right? So I find myself constantly being like, I'm just letting you know, like there are people that at the beginning of the year, I was like, hey, I'm just letting you know I'm actively cutting people out of my life. So if you are actually wanting to be a part of my life, you're going to need to explicitly say that to me, because your past actions have shown me that you actually don't want to be. So I'm about to go ahead on and release you. Like, there are people that have gotten those types of conversations. There are other people where they just get blocked. Like, your access just got removed. Because I've been realizing there's been a lot of monitoring spirits, yo. It's been a lot of monitoring spirits. And monitoring spirits are people that are like hanging around and leeching and just trying to get what they can get, but they don't have an actual relationship. And I decided I'm over that. I've decided I'm over that. I've decided I'm over that. So I have been actively looking for people to cut access away, because it's interesting. We had a classmate who, or a schoolmate that we just found out yesterday passed away in September of 2025. And one of the things I said in the group chat is that I hope that she had people around her that knew, and that this wasn't a situation where so much time had passed and people are like just finding her and just finding out. And it's one of my biggest fears, because I live by myself and I live in a foreign country. And because I have this tendency to insulate, especially when things get really, really hard and I just kind of just go away and be with myself. If something were to happen to me, who is going to actually know that something happened to me? And also, who even cares? Because it's always interesting when one of these situations happen. We had another schoolmate who was more famous that passed away a couple years ago, and she was gone for a while before anybody knew. And yet there were all these tribute posts that were happening on the internet, but these were people that claimed to actually be her friend. And y'all wasn't even like checking on her. And I don't want those kind of relationships. Like, I want relationships where people can hear my silence. I want relationships where we don't have to like talk every day, no, but we are actively making time to check in, and actively thinking about the other person. Like, those are the kind of relationships that I want. I don't want relationships where you finding out on the internet that I died and you were supposed to be my friend. That I don't like that. So it's made me be very, very introspective, but I also have to make sure that I am not cutting off everybody in the midst of realizing that some people are just getting off, or that I having this realization that this was never my person. And it's interesting because I am like I be caring about people. And like sometimes I be mad because like, why do I even fucking care? Like, but I be caring about, but I be caring about people. So it's always sobering when you realize like there are people that you thought that you care deeply about that actually don't feel that same way about you. And it's a part of life and it's a part of transition. I think it's also a part of the neurodivergent experience. And it's something that I choose to talk about because we don't be talking about it. And so then we're in our heads and we're creating narratives. And now it's a whole thing as opposed to just getting clarity. So I'm team clarity this year. I'm team clarity and I am team intentionality. And giving energy. There was something I posted the other day. It was like the people that bring peace into your life are the ones who should get the most time. That's what I posted. And that's what I'm on. That's what I'm on. And this space is one of those spaces where it brings me peace, it brings me joy, it helps me to feel connected. It helps me to feel seen. I feel like I'm making a difference with what I'm talking about. and helping us to show up as better people, holding myself accountable to show up as a better person. This is a space that deserves that energy. And so everything that my work is centering around, and that's how I'm gonna end this on the projects that we have, right? So I talked about the healing circle, but a really big project that Shekinah and I have been working on. So Shekinah is also the brand bestie. So as you all have seen the advances over here in Minding My Black Ass Business and in Kimberlyn Jackson, that's all Shekinah. Okay. So she's really, really good at what she does. And she and I have partnered together to revamp and create an internship program that centers Black women. It's called Found Her Future. And we are currently in the process of seeking interns to be a part of the Found Her Future Collective internship program, where every intern will have the opportunity to experience Discover Your Destiny and really understand their spiritual gifts, understand who they are. I'll insert commercial here so that you're able to have more information about Discover Your Destiny. What if the thing you've always called too much was the exact thing God designed on purpose? This is for the ones who've always known they were different. Too sensitive, too loud, too knowing, too intuitive, too woo-woo. But what if your sensitivity is actually your superpower? What if your intuition was your inheritance? Discover Your Destiny is a 10-week sacred journey back to yourself. We explore the design of your soul, your spiritual gifts, and the unique way that God speaks to you. This isn't church. It's not a rule book. It's not a performance. It's the moment you stop chasing approval and start walking in divine alignment. You'll gain clarity, language, and confidence around who you are and what you are here on the earth to do. You'll learn the real voice of God. And if you feel called to go on to become a certified intuitive melanated life coach, this is where that path begins. There are 2 ways to enter this sacred container: the Destiny track, full investments and coaching experience, or the Divine Exchange track, where internship meets soul work. You'll support podcasting, content creation, or brand development behind the scenes while learning how your unique gifts benefit the collective. Your knowing isn't a flaw, it's the fingerprints of God. This is your invitation, and I hope that you'll answer. But every single intern will have the opportunity to go through Discover Your Destiny so that they have a clear understanding of their purpose and their gifts and their talents and their passions and how all of those things align. And then they have the opportunity to work on some of the projects that we have. So I mentioned the Healing Circle. There's also the opportunity to get life coach certification. We also have podcasts that they can work on, and there are various spaces within that market. We also are looking specifically for people who want to support in the area of social media and content management and brand management and brand partnerships, right? So our goal this year is to be able to monetize all of this so that we are able to support this amazing work that we're doing. The qualifications: you have to be 18 and up. Again, this is catered towards Black women. We are open to women who are not Black applying, but you do have to understand that we are centering Black women and Blackness over here in this space. So if you don't align with that, then this is not the space for you. Really took a lot of intention in ensuring that we understand the women who are going to be applying and what it is that they want to do with their lives. Our goal is to not just provide the professional support, but also to provide the personal development that will allow us to show up in the fullness of our gifts and really create these oases, if you will, of safety for us, right? Everything that we do over at Minding My Black Ass Business, everything that I do as Kimberlyn Jackson is activism. And it is very, very important for you to understand that if you align yourself with me. It might not look like being on the front lines of a protest. It might look like editing a podcast to make sure that the people get the word out. It might look like getting your life coach certification so that the people that you come into contact with, that you're also able to support them in their transition. It might look like learning how to write a curriculum so that we're able to support our children, so that they don't have to be subjected to what the education system is about to be. It's always been harmful, but now it's going to be that much more harmful, right? So I said all that to say that there is space for you, 18 and up. So 18 and up, right? This might be something that you're looking to find your own passion, change careers, what have you. We really want to be able to support you. So in order to apply, you go to tinyurl.com/found her future internship. And that is how you fill out the application. And we're really excited. We're excited to see the women that apply and how we can support them. And I'm a firm believer in mentorship and reaching up and reaching back. That is supremely important for me. So, and supremely important for Shekinah. So in this partnership, we are really just looking to show up and support the folks who know that they need to do something different. That was it. Most importantly, y'all, I really, really, really would like for you to come over to the Patreon. If you cannot afford the $5 a month, there is a free version, so you can join free, and I still try to put out information to the free Patreon. I said that to say I'm not really finna be on social media like that for real. A lot like that no more, not me, actual me. So that stuff is going to be very much automated. So if you are looking to actually connect and converse and all of that, I need you to go to patreon.com/minding my black ass business. Again, you are able to join the free version. You also can get a free trial if you go through the inner circle. It'll give you a 7-day free trial. And then after that, it's $5 a month. If you have the $5 a month to invest, I would deeply appreciate it. It helps because the plan is for those who have content that live in the Mind of My Black Ass universe to be able to receive a percentage of those funds, right? We want to be able to pay people and compensate people for creating content and being here, and we do that with the support of you. So as you are thinking about how you want to allocate your funds this year, I would love for you to support what we are building over here at Mind of My Black Ass Business. All right. I think I'm gonna quote myself today. And the quote that I want to use is every step in the right direction is a step in the right direction, no matter how small. As we are going through this time of navigating, again, this severance of what it looks like to be in the world, but then also have our personal peace within the world, it's important to acknowledge the things that we are doing to stabilize ourselves, even if they feel small. So as you are making those accommodations to support yourself, know that you're doing that with the intention of giving yourself the best opportunity to have a successful day, to have a successful week, to have a successful project, right? Every step in the right direction is a step in the right direction, no matter how small. So I want all of us to be more intentional about marking those small things, because a lot of small steps lead up to something. Okay. So as we are moving in the directions, I'm excited to be back. I appreciate y'all again for hanging out with me. This is going to live premiere on Saturday. So again, I'm going to put some edits and things up in there so that you all get a new viewing experience. But shout out to the inner circle, to the chat, who is here with me and hanging out. If you want to be able to hang out with us during the recording, you got to come on over to the Patreon. Again, patreon.com/minding my black ass business. Come into the archive or join through the free inner circle option where you get a 7-day free trial. All right, y'all. I think that's it. That's all.
Thank you for listening to The Frolicking Truth, where joy meets justice and our nervous systems get free. Please be sure to like, rate, and comment. Subscribe to the YouTube page, Minding My Black Ass Business, and follow me on all social platforms. Until next time, bye.